All right, well, just as it seems we've got the electrical issues fixed on the truck, we've got another one to worry about, which is the brakes. I've been noticing lately that the brakes have been a little mushy, and it's reached the point here where I'm going almost all the way to the floor with a bit of a squeak. The brakes used to be quite tight. For those who may remember, one of my earlier videos was one of the first things we did with this truck was completely redo the brakes, which are in very poor condition. Basically replaced everything. The drums, the rotors, all the little clips and hardware, the brake lines, everything except, I think, the master brake cylinder. So I don't know what's going on here, but it's reached the point I just took for a little drive around the block where I don't really feel safe driving this like place to place. So before we do take it to a brake shop, maybe we try and self-assess a little bit and take a look at our brake fluid. Now, some people must say, hold on, this is an old manual brake system. That doesn't have fluid. Well, yeah, it still does. It's still a hydraulic system. So you do have to check the brake fluid from time to time. And of course, some people would poke their head under here, the hood, I know I did, and said, hey, where's the brake cylinder? And you may notice, of course, on a 239 flathead, very basic engine, manual, everything. Really, the alternator is really the only attachment to the engine that you can see, steering reservoir and no brake reservoir. Well, that's because on these old girls, the brake reservoir is not under the hood. It's actually somewhere up over in there. It's underneath the cab. So we have got to check in the cab underneath there and investigate. All right, so come along with me. We're going to pull up our special cut to fit floor mat there and get that here. So what I have learned is that up underneath the carpet somewhere here should be a cover, and once you pull off that cover, what underneath there, it gives you access to the brake cylinder. So come along with me and we'll take a look here and see, gosh knows when this stuff has ever been off. I still don't know the vintage of this carpet, if it's original to the truck or much older, but my guess is if it's not original, it's pretty old. All right, there's our cover. Oops. Well, I see a hole, but no cover. But that should be, back to the brake cylinder there. All right, not sure what happened to my cover. It probably just disappeared over the years, along with a lot of things. But let's see about getting that boy off. Oof, well, we're in here, but my gosh, that is a big honking bolt. And I'm not even sure how to get in there. Is it possibly I can have access from underneath and get up in there? And I remember reading somewhere people said, be careful you don't strip this bolt. And I can tell just from looking at it, it looks like it has been chewed on a little bit already. So I'd be very hesitant about trying to. Well, I'd love to have actually a socket that would fit over that. This is going to take some exploration. Well, I don't know how well you can see in there, but that looks like it's about a 1 1/8 or 1 1/4 inch bolt. And that is a big Bessie, that's for sure. I don't have anything that big, even with my breaker bar attachments, sockets. And those, of course, are for lug nuts. So I have to take a look here. Either I'm going to have to see if it looks like there's access here, area over here on the right. So maybe I can get underneath and get a crescent wrench up on there and see if I can do it that way. Otherwise, I have to go hunt for a socket to fit this thing. Even my crescent wrench barely goes up that big. I can try and maybe jigger it here from the top, but I don't think that's really going to work. Well, it was actually pretty easy. Some smart engineer at Ford from 70 odd years ago actually thought to leave that space accessible. So it was very easy to crawl under there. You could actually see it quite well even. Just put the old crescent on there and she popped right off. So there it is. I might clean that up before I put it on, but there's the underside of it. Looks like it's got good thread, so it's in good shape. It's really not as stripped as I originally thought just from looking at the top of it, but Yeah, so looking down in here into our reservoir, that does look pretty dry to me. I don't know why that would be. I checked around under here with the cylinder to look for signs of leakage, see if I saw any place where it parked where it was leaking, but that definitely looks low to me. So let's try put some fluid in there. Okay, I got this funnel here. This is actually the long skinny one. It's really for like putting in your transmission dipstick, but I figure this way I can actually have some vision of it going in and see how much more I need to do. And I don't actually have a ton of brake fluid, so hopefully this is enough. And no idea, how much it should be. I can see a little bit of visible liquid now. It's hard to shoot down there, I'm sorry. You can see, there, see. So I got some visible liquid. I don't know really how high it's supposed to be. Obviously, I don't want to put it all the way up, but I think we're going to try it right about there and see what happens. All right, I went ahead and cleaned up this bolt, and it cleaned it pretty nice. And look at that cool pattern underneath there. Neat. So we'll go ahead and get that put back on. All right, we got that snugged up back, cleaned up, looking good there. And while I saw that we were missing our cover there, I said, well, why don't we go ahead and just get another one? I'm not sure we want water splashing up, so we went ahead and picked up a cover from our friends over at Dennis Carpenter, one of my favorite suppliers for parts for these old trucks. And no, they're not paying me to say that, but I found they have a good variety and a good price. All right, buttoned up. Let's give this a try. Well, maybe I got a little bit more of a pedal, not a lot. Maybe I should have left that open, because as I'm pressing on the pedal, I might be working some of that fluid into the system, and then it would go down. All right, do I feel like pulling all this up again and checking? Actually, no, hold on. I'm feeling a little bit more of a pedal now. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think so. All right. All right, yeah, that's big, massive improvement. So before, when I was driving around, I probably should have done a test drive to show you, but like I would go all the way to the floor and just barely feel stopping power, and it would not grab like that and skid. Like it did not even have enough stopping power to skid. So huge improvement. Let's try to go off the side street. No, there's nobody behind me now. Get the speed here a little bit. Think you're out of gear. Okay. All right. Well, I think we have got, I wouldn't say licked, but at least addressed for the time being. All right. Well, I feel really good about that. She's stopping just fine now, just as well as it was before. And I give myself a little pat on the back as a non-mechanic that I actually managed to kind of sort of do some mechanical stuff and figure out where the brake master cylinder was and then get access to it and fill it up. Really wasn't that much of a job, but of course now the lingering question is, why did the fluid in that go down? I don't know, so we'll need to keep an eye on this baby, see if the brakes start getting mushy again, in which case we'll need to take it to a brake shop, have that looked at. I mean, since everything else in the entire brake system has been swapped out, my only guess is it would have to be the brake cylinder. But until such time, I'm feeling good about a little fix on the truck. Thanks for watching and have a great day.